Hi, James. I hope this video finds you doing well. Wanted to get back to you finally, give you a quick, short answer. I appreciate and I'm flattered by sometimes the credit you give me, thinking that I know the answer all the time. And if I would just show you, sometimes I don't know what the answer is and I'm trying to figure it out. So thanks for your patience as I think the last time we did a web call, a Zoom call, and I could not figure out what was going on. And then right towards the end of the conversation, I finally figured out what was happening with the hyperlinks, and then I thought I was going to be able to resolve it, but again, with the change of names, I was not able to even get back to the right page that I was supposed to get to. So you're doing a fantastic job on your website. It's looking a lot better, obviously. And so let me comment before I show you the video that you've been waiting for is about your stuff over there at WordPress. Uh, you can log in and check. I think you maybe paid for an annual subscription or service, so I don't know when it actually ends. So I don't know that you need to cancel anything. You can turn off the auto renew, but then you can ride it out for as long as you want to. What would be the advantage? Not really much of one. You have a staging copy of your website. I've sent you the link probably 2 or 3 times. It's on the staging site. So that's your old site. If you needed to go back to it, if you want to have fond memories and remember how it looked, the staging site should stay active for as long as you have that WordPress account, not visible to the public, but it is residing on one of their servers until you cancel that subscription for the staging site, which is what you paid for an online thing, but we've obviously moved it over to a different server using different software and circumstances. So all of that being said, now your domain is a different situation. Hosting is separate than your domain, and then your software is different than your domain or your hosting. So we're going to just talk now briefly about the domain situation. I was kind of explaining this to you before. You know, you had that staging thing set up, and it wasn't right. And then at one time, I think you said you registered the .com, I believe, through WordPress. So I'd have to look at that. It's not, I don't know that they register domains. I've never looked, I've never heard of that. I'm sure that they do probably, but I've never dealt with that. I could, check and figure that out a little bit later on today or tomorrow or early this week. But about the domain, I would suggest we get you moved over to GoDaddy with your own account, and then I could transfer the domain over. And let me think. With that being said, you can do that, or I can do that for you. I usually charge about $100 to move a domain because then we have to change the IP address, all that type of stuff. It's not a big deal. It's just what I usually end up doing. So, I can discount that for you without a problem. It just takes a little bit of time, but we would need to move it and then transfer it from one domain registrar to the other. Could be a couple day process, even up to a week. I had one client with Wix or Weebly. It took a full 7 days. So, and we'd have to work together because you'd end up having to approve it and that type of stuff. But we can deal with that. I don't think you're under any rush with that because I believe you just registered the domain and we can move it in the near future. So the registrar is what we'd be moving, the domain registrar. Okay, so getting back to, so I've answered the question about the situation. I think on another text that you sent me. You asked me something about indexing. James, I'd have to check on that, what's happening. Again, there's not a quick and easy answer. You have to look and figure out and see what's going on. So I don't know at this time. And to be frank, I'm actually behind, excuse me, on getting this libertycelebration.com site up and running. We were supposed to move it 2 days ago, and I haven't really been going back and forth with your stuff and their stuff. So I want to try to finish that up today. And then at 4 o'clock, I have a Zoom call with the client as I'm trying to help him with his website. With all that being said, the indexing issue I'll have to get back to you on. I will check. You may figure it out before I do, but I'll go from there. So where we are now. For a quick idea, I started when we talked originally. Your site's a little bit different. We've got the posts, and I was trying to explain to you when we were in your office one day about a page or a post, and I wasn't trying to be nitpicky. I was trying to explain to you that posts and pages are completely different. I think you now have a much better understanding of that. And what we were dealing with was how you are displaying your post on different pages. And when you open a post, yes, it looks just like a page, but a page is not a post. And it also gets into not just for search engines, it also gets into organization and hierarchical situations. And so as far as like how the code reads and stuff, and that's what happened with the red letters that you had. I believe what was happening is there was a hierarchy that it was text, and then it was that blue or text, blue color, whatever you had off on the right. And then there was another code that was applied, or HTML code, hierarchical command that changed it to red. And so we were able to change the one color, all the links, to blue, except the ones that had an additional hierarchical command. That's what I think was ended up happening. So again, I'm not a coder. You probably know a lot more code than I do, but sometimes it's just a matter of figuring stuff out. And so where we're at now with your situation, what ended up happening was we carried over the posts that were built using an old, I think they call it a classic editor. I think they still call it a classic editor, building a blog post. And again, that's different than a page, and I won't repeat myself because I know you fully understand now. So what I wanted to show you is if we go underneath here to see all of your posts, we can see some, and so let me just skip back. What we're using, I mentioned before, is that the builder we're using is Beaver Builder, and there's other builders that are out there. No, you can even use a basic, a naked version of WordPress to do blocks. It's come a long way. There's nothing wrong with it. It's very good. It's not what I use. There's other things that I use that I believe are better and higher rated and better supported and more options, that type of stuff. But what I'm sharing with you is that your current post that we're looking at, one of them was built using a classic editor for a post. And you can even see it here. Here it says classic. That's why I believe, never noticed that before, but I believe that's why that's shown here is that it was built with a classic editor. What we're going to do is we're going to convert all your posts over to Beaver Builder. And what I'll do here is that you click underneath here for more options, and then convert to Beaver Builders right here. And then it freezes to let you know, okay, do you want to use a standard editor or launch Beaver Builder? We're going to go ahead and launch Beaver Builder. Be patient now because there's a few things that are happening here. Depending on the page, a lot of conversion. So it's still upload. It says view post, but I'm impatient. But I encourage you to be patient because I used to click stuff too quickly, and then you cause other types of issues. So here I am now. This has finally come up. It's asked me. What I did is I applied a theme. When I saw your earlier posts that we had carried over from your current or your old website, they were all with the classic editor. And so you and I started to have a little bit of conversation, and I kind of backed out because you said you were going to take care of stuff, and I understand it's totally new, but I didn't want to push too much stuff on you. But I went ahead and I created a layout, a Themer layout, and then I started to apply it to one or two of them. And again, you have learned a lot, and you're learning more now. That the Themer layout that I applied changed your classic post to a Themer layout that I created. So with that said, I have mentioned to you before, we can make things look any way you want. Hopefully not anytime soon, just because again, I've got other things I need to get back on track with. But if you decide at a later date you want all your themes to look pink or red or purple or different fonts or, whatever you want, we can change the layout and then apply that layout to the different posts that are appropriately assigned. So I'm rambling other than to say all of your posts, some of them are in Classic Editor and some of them have been transferred over to the Beaver Builder, Beaver Themer, which are different, same company, different programs, do different things, but it's on a Beaver Themer layout. And so it's asking me now, would I like Beaver Builder to override the entire layout or only the content? You don't want to override the entire layout because then it's going to put Jim Little and that post in a different situation for changing that one individual post, which you could do, but it also might change some other formatting, or you may, it'll be a little bit different. So all you do is click Edit Content Only. And so again, be patient. I say that to myself, remind myself, be patient. And for whatever reason, it's asking me again, do I want to make sure I overwrite it? Maybe I open up two of those pages, but I'm going to go ahead and click Edit with Beaver Builder. Let this finish loading. And now it has applied the themer, the template, the themer layout to this. So I'm going to hit Done, and this is the preparation for polyester samples, hit done, hit publish. I'll show you another a way to get to the links, because you were saying you're clicking through, and I don't know if you got some of these or I got some of these, but there's a few that have not been updated yet. So it's still loading. I can see, you can't see up here, but I can see the button go. Okay, now it's just finished loading that page. So this is all set to go. So that page is done. Now what I want to show you is if you go underneath here for post, as I mentioned, and you already know this is your list of your posts, but you see there's a green dot indicating these are already set for Beaver Builder. Here's a white dot that's probably still back at the classic editor. So why don't we take a quick look at this? I hope what I said to you is correct. And here we are here, and we can see that this is still using the classic editor. Doesn't say it up here, but the other one did, but so we want to change that. So just scrolling down to see what else you got going on here. Okay. And again, James, I encourage you, because again, you want to be ranking, and that may tie into some of the indexing, that some of the pages maybe aren't clear to search engines, or whether it's a legitimate page, whatever. But you want to put a key phrase on all of your posts and your pages. This is software that I loaded for you to improve your search engine optimization. So when people are searching for, you know, NISB or BBABC or ABC, that you've added one or two words here, a key phrase, one word, two phrases. And then here we talked about this before. You may or may not recall, but I'll repeat it just for your own benefit. Hopefully it'll come back to you. Is that you want to add in a snippet, or what they call a meta description. And so just type some information about this page. And then you can see here that what you're typing here is actually shown up here in the snippet. So this will help for search engine results. It helps your users see what actually is this article or this post about. And again, I know you said you don't want to use, well, you do want to use categories eventually. And so you can assign your categories here to your different posts. You can add tags, which we haven't really got into that, but it further identifies if you had t-shirts and then you had long sleeve, short sleeve, and then colors and that type of stuff. It's not just that the category may be t-shirts, but your tags would be, you know, the type of t-shirt that you're actually promoting on that page or post, or for a t-shirt it would be that product most likely. Featured image, again, you said you're not using these. I encourage you to think about it. Featured images don't always display unless you want them to, but there's nothing wrong and could be beneficial to having a featured image associated with all of your posts, because at a later time, James, you may decide to display your post in a different way, and you may or may not want to have a featured image associated with that. And we'll talk about that some other time, because you have so many options, and I know you've got a great site, and you may decide you want to continue to make it even greater. So, and again, this is if you want to show this here, but then also on posts, they don't also always show a featured image. And then an excerpt obviously would appear along with the post, and there's a different way to format posts so that the content includes an excerpt, certain number of words or characters, not words, characters that would display. So where I am at here now, I just want to take a look down, and what this gets back to the original point. We're going to do one more real quick, is that all I did was go to Beaver Builder, went here, where am I at? Convert to Beaver Builder, and launch Beaver Builder. I probably wasted time, and I can see I've got multiple tabs open, so I know I've messed myself up more than once. I have multiple tabs or windows open. So let me let this finish loading. This is the free NIST one. Here it comes. Again, reminder, you don't want to override the layout. You want to go ahead and edit the content only. The content will be edited to layout like the way that I had set it up for one of your first posts. Looks great. That's fine. I'm going to hit done, hit publish, and then I'm going to click through these other tabs to see what I left open here. So as soon as this is still loading, you want to check up there in your browser. I know you can't see that because of the frame, but you want to make sure that the page finished loading before you click off. Now it's just done, because you'll lose what you save sometimes if you close something too quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and close that one, and then this is here. Oh, so again, what's showing you again, with your post, you look for the green dot. You can see the other posts that have not been updated just yet. I'm sure you'll knock that off relatively quickly, knowing you now. That this will be something you'll be able to go through, click on the page, convert it to Beaver Builder, and then publish it, and it should be done. On your pages, you can see here, these are all set for green, so these are all already made in Beaver Builder. These two we can eventually delete, and we can go to all pages to delete that. And James, I think I am done. So let me turn this video off. If you have questions, I know you're not shy about asking. If you want to keep a list, that's okay also. And I hope this information's been helpful. You're doing a great job on your website. Massive improvements for what you're doing. And congratulations. Okay, James, take care. Thanks so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.